एडिट कर लेना मैं बीच में से।
Good morning, students. Today we are going to start chapter number 5, A Face in the Dark. A Face in the Dark is a story about Mr. Oliver, who was a school teacher, and he was on the way to back to his school from the market. When he was back to the school, it was the night time, and something mischief happened to him. He had seen something mysterious which he never expected to watch. In this one story, we will read about this. The story was written by Ruskin Bond, and Ruskin Bond makes skillful use of all the elements of a horror story: fear, surprise, suspense, and mystery, to explore humanity's collective fascination with the dark. He has created the horror atmosphere because he has presented a crime scene and something mysterious. Mr. Oliver, an Anglo-Indian teacher, was returning to his school late one night on the outskirts of the hill station of Simla. The school was situated on the hills of Shimla. At late night one night, Mr. Oliver, who was an Anglo-Indian teacher, returning back to the school, and it was the late night time. From before Kipling's time, the school had been run on English public school lines, and the boys, most of them from wealthy Indian families, wore blazers, caps, and ties. The Ruskin Bond narrator was telling us that from Kipling's time, means earlier than Oliver's time, the school was known as the English medium boys school, English medium public school, and the uniform of that one school was very good. All the boys of the wealthy families studied there. What was the uniform? The boys wore blazers, caps, and ties. Life magazine, in a feature on India, had once called it the Eden of the East. Life is the name of a magazine, and that magazine of India had given the title to the school. What was the title? Eden of the East. Eden is the name of any personality, and he called the school by the name of Eden. Mr. Oliver had been teaching in the school for several years. He was a very old teacher of the school. He was teaching there from several years, many years. The Shimla Bazaar, with its cinemas and restaurants, was about 3 miles from the school. And Mr. Oliver, a bachelor, usually strolled into the town in the evening, returning after dark when he would take a shortcut through the pine forest. Shimla Bazaar was almost 3 miles away from the school, as we know that the school was situated upon the hills. So market was 3 miles away, and the Shimla market was well known for their restaurants and for its cinema halls. And Mr. Oliver, he was a bachelor. Bachelor means single person, unmarried person. And he usually went to the town at the evening time and returned back to the school at the night when it was dark. And always when he came back to the school, he used a shortcut way through the pine forest. The way was from the forest, and it was a pine forest. Pine trees were there. When there was a strong wind, the pine trees made sad, airish sound that kept most people to the main road. As we know that in the forest, we can hear the wind sound which make us horrified. Whenever we hear the noise of the trees, noise of the wind go through the trees, we feel fearless. As usually, when the strong wind blows, the pine trees make very sad sound. That most of the people have no courage to be in the forest. They stay at the main road at the night time. But Mr. Oliver was not a nervous or imaginative man. He was Boys were not supposed to be out after dark. Suddenly what happened when Mr. Oliver was crossing the forest? He saw the figure of a boy, and as he was the teacher of the school, he stopped there because it was the rule of the school that boys could not be out of the school at the evening time. So he stopped there that how the boy is there. What are you doing out here, boy? Asked Mr. Oliver sharply, moving closer so that he could recognize the miscarriage. But even as he approached the boy, Mr. Oliver sensed that something was wrong. As a teacher, with his responsibility, he asked by the boy, "What are you doing here?" And when he was asking the question, he went closer to the boy. And when he went closer to the boy, he saw that he understood that something wrong has happened here. The boy appeared to be crying. His head hung down. He held his face in his hand, and his body shook convincingly. What was wrong there? As Mr. Oliver went close to the boy started to cry. He was crying. And what had happened? His head was hung downside. He has no head. He has his face in his hand. His face was in the boy's hand. And only the body was shaking. And it was a strange soundless weeping, and Mr. Oliver felt distinctly uneasy. The sound was not coming. Boy was crying, but the sound was not coming. Soundless weeping was it. When Mr. Oliver saw the boy in this situation, he felt uneasy to himself. Obviously, when we saw this type of figure, everyone feels uneasy to themselves. That someone is having his face in the hand. We can't face that type of person. When what's the matter? He asked. His anger giving way to concern. What are you crying for? The boy would not answer or look up. Now he gathered some courage and asked by the boy. He asked that, "What are you crying for? What do you need?" Then the boy, he would not answer. He just looked up to Mr. Oliver. His body continued to be wrecked with silent sobbing. He was silently sobbing. Sobbing means subakna, without any sound. And, "Come on, boy, you shouldn't be out here at this hour. Tell me the trouble. Look up." The boy looked up. He took his hands from his face and looked up at his teacher. The light from Mr. Oliver's torch fell on the boy's face, if you could call it a face. Mr. Oliver said that, "Okay, stop sobbing here. Why are you sobbing? Boys are not allowed to come out at this time. So what is your problem? Tell me, stop crying and look up." When the teacher told to the boy to look up, the boy looked up. When he looked up, the light of Oliver's torch fell on the boy's face. And if we could call it a face, then we saw at the face of the boy. It means that we can't call it a face. It had no eyes, no ears, nose or mouth. It was just a round, smooth head with a school cap on the top of it, and that's where the story should end. But for Mr. Oliver, it did not end here. He has face in hand. On the face, there was no eyes, no ear, no nose or no mouth. It was a smooth round head only, without any feature. With this, the story ended. But for Mr. Oliver, the story had not ended. The head had school cap on the top of it. The torch fell from his trembling hand. He turned and scrambled down the path, running the torch fell down and he started to run. He was running blindly and he was struggling with fear and he was crying for help on the road to Mr. Oliver. He was still running towards the school building when he saw a lantern swaying in the middle of the park. He was running towards the school building and crying for the help. On the way, at the middle of the way, one day I saw that one lantern was there. The lantern was also swimming in the middle of the park. And Mr. Oliver stumbled up to the watchman. Gasping for breath, "What is it, Sahib?" asked the watchman. "Has there been an accident? Why are you running?" When Mr. Oliver reached towards the lantern, watchman was there. And watchman asked that, "What is it, Sahib? Have you seen any accident? Why are you running?" "I saw something horrible. A boy living in the forest and he had no face." Mr. Oliver replied that, "I had seen something horrible. I had seen a boy and the boy had no face." "No face, Sahib? No eyes, no mouth, nothing? Do you mean it was like this, Sahib?" asked the watchman and raised the lamp to his own face. The watchman had no eyes, no ears, no features at all, not even an eyebrow. And that's when the wind blew the lamp